Hello, my name is Francis Fox, and I'm totally aligned in my mission in this with my mission in this incarnation. I wish I had known that I was on mission all those years of all that god awful stuff, where I was volunteered to be part of a military mind control program that supposedly was for research to be able to help kids in school, but of course that was not what it was for. If I had realized that I was on mission, it would have been less painful. But then the injuries to my mind wouldn't have been as significant. It was those injuries to my mind that created the level of psychic abilities that I have. So I'll remind you again, because most people will know this already, those that have been following me, that there's two ways you get incredible psychics. And this is throughout history. Number one, an electrical accident. You get electrocuted and it. Number two, intense abuse when you are a child. Why will intense abuse expand your psychic abilities? Because when you're in a situation where you cannot get out of the situation, your mind is looking for some relief. And what it does, it goes deeper, which means it goes into other dimensions that are further away from the physical where the person, the child, is getting abused. I'm not exactly sure why I started with that information, but it's interesting anyway. So let's go ahead and get into something that's total news. And I will tell you the metaphysical, other dimensional aspect of it. And then maybe I can continue to reinforce why it's so important that you understand about the other dimensions, because people who have a lot of influence on you do know about the other dimensions. Okay, so let me put up Google's new logo. It's very pretty, a little bit mesmerizing, so that's already a little bit preocupante, which means make you a little bit preoccupied. But look how interesting the break, if you're looking at it at the upper right-hand corner. Got it? So if you put that logo on top of your body and head, that break will be the left side of your head. Now, if you were a follower of the Mantrista movement, you would already be going, no, 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 no. Because we already know that the problem with the kids today is that the left side of the head is open when it's not supposed to be open. So the left side of the head that this symbol corresponds to is open. But it's not just open, it's not allowing for there to be a flow. All of a sudden, the flow, it's a circle, and the flow is intercepted by a cut, but then that blue piece pretty much guarantees that there's not going to be a flow down to the rest of your body. So, I've been telling you about a break that I have here, which is not gone, but it's been the most difficult thing for me to take care of on the physical body level. I haven't been able to take care of it. But do you know that left hand part of the head, exactly the way Google wants perhaps for your mind to go, corresponds to an energy center that has been identified thousands of years ago, and it is called, it's a portal, and the name is Rudra. Here. So I'm going to put a link on, but I don't even do this service anymore. But let me find it. Here it is. I charged until recently $300 to close that portal. Here's the link. Okay. It's in my store. I just opened it up again because I don't do this service any longer. But if you go there, I'm sorry, but the lamp really distresses me. Oh, it's in Spanish. You know what? I had it before to where it was also in English. There's a longer version of this. But here's the point. We have energy centers, they're called chakras, and then we have three of them that are basically in the back of the body nobody knows about. The first one, that's the one we're talking about, is the Rudra, Rudra portal, and it's the first energy center that human beings have that connects to off planet, the galactic. Okay, well, we're now connecting to the galactic, and anybody who denies that should not be following me. Okay, you're like behind the times. It's okay, but you don't want to be here. What is the problem? You do not want that portal open until you are stable in all the rest of your system, because connecting to the galactic before you are stable is a problem. And what does that problem look like? It looks like our kids and our grandkids today. They're a mess. Their minds are a mess. They can't go to sleep till 2 o'clock in the morning. They have to be continuously entertained. They're nervous wrecks. They cannot stay focused. And it's because that portal's open. Now, how do I know that? Because I've been closing that portal for like 5 years. I charge $300 to close it. And then I tell the people, if the kid continues to sleep with their goddamn cell phone, you're going to have to pay me again because it's going to blow open again. The problem is it gets blown open prematurely by radiation. Now, until now, everybody that I have checked that's bipolar, alcoholic, drug addict, a killer, have that portal open. Now, I haven't worked with people that run around killing people, but I can tell you, and the testimonial is there, it's in Spanish. I have to find the longer page if I see that you're interested enough. Um, when you close that portal in somebody who's an alcoholic, all of a sudden they're like, you know what? I really don't want to keep drinking. Yeah, but you've said that 1,000 times. Yeah, but I really don't. And I think this time I'm going to be able to stop. And they're able to stop because this portal lets the really bad spirits in. And so we have Google, who knows a lot, giving us a map to ensure that that portal stays open, because when that portal is open, it's very easy to mind control people. Actually, it has to be opened to mind control somebody. Now, is Google going to come and take me down? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't really know. And I can't think about that stuff anymore. Today I'm disgusted, but it's a full moon in Scorpio. There's lots of emotions and there's a lot of really good stuff happening, including in my very isolated life here. There's a lot of really good stuff happening as soon as we can get the bad guys completely out of the way. And that is going to happen soon, Trump, right? We're going to get this Miami mafioso groups, which is all connected to Schiff, the mind control program. Can we do this soon so I can have a life? I mean, I'm not a young chick anymore. Come on. A lot of us are sitting here, what's the expression, sweating bullets? And who is it that's getting protected by not putting out that Epstein thing? Are they more important than me? I guess so. Anyway, that logo is an example of how footloose and fancy free the really, really bad guys are. They know that you're not going to know this stuff. You're going to go, as everybody's going, oh, that's a really pretty logo. And it is a pretty logo. It's also a very significant logo. It's telling you, hey, The word entrainment is really important to know, and the explanation for it is the strings from the mind, which string theory knows that there's something with these strings. We figured it out, we work with it, we're trying to teach you, but of course, you're not open to thinking that maybe I could have possibly figured out string theory. I mean, I'm a female, I'm half Hispanic. Yes, I have a university degree, yeah, but I'm not from Yale or whatever, and I'm not part of the in crowd. And I couldn't possibly have figured it out. Well, you know what? I did figure it out. I've been working with it for 30 years. And the day we get this integrated, we are going to be able to have diagrams, sketches, logos that the kids can entrain to that will actually be beneficial. Is that logo a coincidence? I really doubt it. They have a name, Siegels, Sigels. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar, but I am familiar with what they're talking about, which are symbols that we have in our society by major companies that basically know all about entrainment and are entraining us. In this case, whoever did that, it could be a coincidence, but let's say it's not. They know all about the energy system. They know that the left side of the head of human beings connects to off planet. When we came into planet Earth, we came in via the left side of the head, via the Rudra portal. When you close it, because most of us are not ready for it to be open, you get a total shift. Now, the reason I no longer have that service available is because in my purification events, which is the only thing that happens there, is 10 minutes of me purifying people, clearing them, healing. And the reason we use the word purifying is because until recently we couldn't use the word healing because we could go to jail, because the only people that could do healing in the United States was medical doctors. And I don't think that they were allowed to use that word either. So we had to search around and find other words. I don't like the word purify. It's really healing. It's a healing of something that's broken. And I'm using it now, and I'm assuming that Trump is going to take care of his health and not going to pop off, which would leave us all holding the bag and we'll all be in deep trouble. So, Trump, you take care of your health. You go take that nap when you want to. You go, don't pay attention to the people having to do with you. Go and find yourself golf courses and you play golf morning, noon, and night because that contributes to your health, which means it contributes to my well being and my kids and my grandkids and my friends. Got it? You take care of yourself. Don't you play any little games with yourself because you're playing a game with all of us that have believed in you and have put ourselves out there, knowing that if you're not there to protect us or to create order, that we're all up a creek. So these symbols that a lot of companies use are either actually pointing to something that they're trying to get our mind to do, or they program the symbol. I'm not ready yet to give you the one big symbol because I'm not sure that it would be safe for me to do that. I think Google is, can I say it? I think there has been. I think that AI has done one positive thing, and that's to knock them out of the box. But I'm not going to put myself out there any more than I need to because I have important things that I want to share. But today on X, which is where I get my news, Health Ranger, who's into health but now is into politics more than I am, I want to get out. But he said, Your mind is a war zone. I could have told you that. That's what the mind control program was all about. Learning what you need to do to break people's mind. Your mind creates your reality. Got it? HIV, mind creating reality, mind control. I remember sharing with the girls that were in that little therapy group in the 90s, with the only one that was in the country, and it only lasted a year. When I quit, the whole thing shut down. I suspect it was set up for the people that did the mind control to watch how it would be if you got 4 mind control victims together with a therapist. How would that go? Whatever. It doesn't really matter. But I remember, no, you know what? I'm not going to tell the story because I'm not sure yet that it's safe to tell that story, so we're going to skip it. The point of the matter is that when I do the purification events, and I think the event is like $33, I close that portal. That $300 service, I do it. It's part of every single purification event that I give. And a lot of times when people get back to me, especially parents, and this woman that said, my husband's not drinking. He's been drinking for 20 years. He's not drinking. After the first session, he's not drinking. So she's there every week. She's there. And a lot of parents, their kids are so much better after one of those events because I close that. And I tell them it's possible that the big change that you're seeing is because I'm closing this. They can't hear it. It goes in one ear and out the other, and it's okay. What I say to them, listen, do 5, 6, 7 sessions. Then when your kid deteriorates after that, you come back and you do it again. And I'm suggesting it for autism. Because I think it can make a big difference because the autistic kids have this open. So what's it got to do with the Google new logo? I think it has everything to do with it. Let's keep that open. Let's be open to the galactic. No, you can't be open to the galactic until you're stable enough in the planet, in your own body, in your energy system, in your energy bodies. And we're not. Most people are not ready for that. Next. Today's a full moon in Scorpio, so I spent the day crying. It's Scorpio is a female sign and it's a water sign. Water is all about emotions, but it's a very good sign. And it supposedly you can have some really incredible positive changes due to this full moon. I certainly did. I became aware of something which I can't say here because my enemies are still watching my podcast. But there's a lot of emotions, and Trump is going to the Mideast with that. But I think, just like they are saying about this full moon, it's very positive. And what I read and what the Dolphin said a couple of days ago about his trip was very, very positive. Everybody's afraid. They don't want to kill him. They don't want him dead. Even the enemies don't want him dead because if he's dead, there's going to be a total lack of control. And things are so crazy on planet Earth now that even the bad guys don't want any lack of control. Because for them to have their money, make their money, do their stuff, there has to be, the good guys have to have some kind of order. They can't be crazy, the good guys. So even the bad guys want for Trump to be okay. Let's go ahead and do the map. Let's see if I have it up here. I don't think so. No, I didn't get it up. So here's the map. You have those frequency with green, which is the color of the heart, the color of the earth. This is good. You have a spiraling of red, but it's not very deep and it's not very strong. So this is like rage, but it's like not a very energetic rage. It's rage, but not really. At the bottom, I say it's just a statement that came through. The people be happy. That's not good grammar, but that's a very nice statement that came up off of the map. And then this silly thing, bad guys are coming back to the United States because it's safer here. Remember I told you that the bad guys from the Northeast had gone to Guyana? Well, Guyana is a really ugly place energetically. I mean, I think the people are supposed to be very sweet, but energetically, it's like beyond a black hole. And I don't know if that's what this is referring to, but the bad guys are coming back because it's safer here. They don't have protection. This is a good thing. So it looks good. And I think things are good. And I think they're so good that it's like we don't trust. Is this possible? Is this going to continue? Who's going to jump out from behind the door, or what thing is going to happen? We do have 1 foot in the golden age already. Maybe we have 2 feet in the golden age. I don't know, but it's looking really good. And it's kind of feeling really good also. And then my last statement here says, those of us trapped between the good guys and the bad guys. Yeah. So what are the bad guys doing now? Well, in my case, they were crazed. They wanted me out of my apartment this weekend. So they were doing those little telegram messages for a particular food that they, and I was like, gee, I want to have this food. I could just run over there 2 minutes and then get it and come back. But it was so strong. I was like, no, that doesn't, blah, 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 blah. 2 nights ago, they used radionics uh, machines on me. That was not good. That was totally scrambled my energy bodies. I woke up and it took me the whole day to pull myself back up again. Now, this was done by somebody associated with the US military today. I don't think it's a top level guy. It's somebody that's not top level. It's associated with the base that's in Homestead. Um, but still, it's still the US government doing me in. Yeah, I know it's not fair. It's not right. It's problematic. Those radionics machines are really something because that is the real war. As Health Ranger said, the war is for the mind, and the people that haven't recognized that um, are fighting the wrong war. And you could say, yeah, propaganda, that kind of. No, 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 no. It's much deeper than that. If you're not aware, the mind strings from string theory are multidimensional. All your energy bodies only can function on one dimension, but the mind strings go from a center axis and they extend out to several dimensions. And in each dimension, they connect with an energy body that can function on that dimension, but only on that dimension. And the radionics, the radiation from these psychotronic weapons, basically is a tool for turning people into something that they're not and making them react in ways that they would not. The other day, it was such a level of what they sent me that night that I was having trouble spelling anything. Now, I have a lot of techniques and I can pull myself back together very quickly, but there people don't know this. So they would wake up the next day and think I had a mini stroke or my God, this aging process. So I'm going to say this story again. 20 years ago, I met a medical doctor from Cuba. He had just come in. He was brought in by the Cuban American Association, a group of Cuban mafiosos that the government funded fully. They even sent them to Russia at one point. Anyway, they got this guy over here, and one of his specialties was psychotronic weapons and hypnosis to get people to do things they didn't want to do. He did a little session in my office. Thought it was fun and games. I wasn't really aware of who I was dealing with, and it was really horrifying. But the point I want to make now is he said that in Cuba, if you're going to be a medical doctor, you have to know about psychotronic weapons. It's part of the curriculum. Now, you can't even say that in this country without authority figures going like this. So, our psychologists and psychiatrists and doctors don't know anything about this. How do you defend from it? You don't. Correct. That's exactly what they want. So when we try to protect the nice people, so that, and not give them information because who knows how they're going to use it. Basically, we're doing what the British New Age movement did. I'm looking for something to show you online on the screen. They decided, they found out from India, Tibet, about the energy system and the chakras. And they found out that we don't just have 7 chakras in the upper part of the body, which most of you might have heard a little bit about. We have 7 of them underneath the root of our trunk, the trunk of our body. 7 esoteric chakras. And they decided not to let the public know because maybe they would misuse it. Well, guess what? The only people that misuse it were the black magicians. And then the nice people couldn't figure out how come they could never finish healing a particular issue because the break was in those energy centers. Here's the graphic. The one that's in between the legs, from there up, are the chakras that everybody knows about. The first chakra, second chakra, and then the other ones are the ones that are literally in hell. So we all have 7 energy centers called chakras that are literally in hell. But no, that's not the big piece of news, is that there used to be a wall, a veil in between the 2 sets. And there used to be a door in between the 2 sets of chakras called the Brahmavara, which was the door to hell. And that door, the planet Earth has the same thing, the 7 chakras at the top and then 7 at the bottom that are in hell. Then the door, then this wall, which the wall doesn't have a name, but the door does. It's Brahmavara. And I think if you look it up in English, I think the only person that talks about that is me, but I didn't invent that. I got that from reading a dictionary, a Hindu dictionary. Okay. The Brahmavara door, which would have kept all that stuff from hell on planet Earth underneath and trapped behind this wall, and that door closed, was broken through December 21st, 2012 at 2 in the afternoon. You know that famous Mayan prophecy that December 21st, 2012, the Mayan calendar was ending and they had to have a new calendar? It was because that door got blown open that date at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What happened that date? December 21st, 2012 at 2. Super black hole Sagittarius aligned with planet Earth for, I believe, 8 minutes. Perfect alignment with that door. And it blew it open. No, that's not true. Excuse me. The BP oil accident blew that door open. What happened was, which was 2005, 2012, Sagittarius A aligned perfectly with that blown open door and fed us from a super massive black hole all this garbage, to the extent that the Mayans said we needed a new calendar because the vibration of the earth completely shifted. And everybody said nothing happened December the 12th, December 21st, 2012. Yes, something really big happened, but it didn't happen in the physical dimension. And it has taken all this time, and we can all say now the world that we knew doesn't exist anymore. And that BP oil accident is a major component of that statement. The world that we know does not, that we knew doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Whenever somebody is ready to work on the bottom line in terms of health, having to do with mental health and also physical health, having to do with metaphysics and what's been known for centuries, which has to do with the elements, I am available. People are not ready yet. Every time I get up on X, it's very frustrating. Look what's going on here. Look what's going on there. Look at that. And I don't even bother posting. It has to do with an excess of the fire element, which causes this in one ear, out the other. That's too simple. Yes, it is too simple. You know who we're seeing that understands simple? Donald Trump. These huge issues. Oh, this is not so huge. This is huge. But this can be taken care of. If you work at the right level with the right people, it can be taken care of. Same thing with the violence and the frustration. And Trump, you're not going to be able to keep up the economy because people are crashing and they are the ones that will be working in the companies. So whenever you're ready, I am available. It is not that difficult. It's really more like a marketing thing and information thing. And it has to do with go and play more golf. Take your kids to the beach. Don't sleep with a cell phone. Program Wi-Fi to where it gets turned off at night so that you have 10 hours in which you're not getting radiated with microwave because Wi-Fi is microwave. Off of that subject because it makes me crazy. So let's go back and reinforce. This is the class part of this chat. Remember that there is a suicide virus that has been thrown on the planet that's hitting a lot of people. Most people are not going to admit that they're suicidal because they don't even think it. What they're thinking is, I don't really want to live. I'm not happy. Now, that not happy can mean that if there's a car coming and they're going to cross the street, they're not quite as careful because they're not that really interested in living, or they could subconsciously call in, as I said I would do in the 90s, cancer in their right ovary, 3 months they're gone. Cancer in their pancreas, 3 months they're gone. And oh no, but I didn't do that. And then they go to the doctor. How come you can't help me? Maybe it's because you don't intend on living. Suicide energy is all over the planet. What do? When you're with a group of people, when you're with your family? You just do the mantra. It's so easy. Even though I want to die, I love and accept myself. Even though I want to die, I love and accept myself. And you repeat it in silence. You do not move your mouth with the words. Okay? Got that? It's the most important thing that you can do now. Katia, crystals do not stop microwave. As a matter of fact, you like your crystals? Keep them away from the modem. Okay? And that's been proven 1,000 times. It's not just my opinion. So, okay, so you got the suicide thing, and you look at people, and if they won't look at your eyes, you make them look into your eyes because it reconnects their bodies. And it's harder for these spirits to be in there and be pushing the whole I want to die, I want to die, I want to die thing. Number 2. I forgot what number 2 was. Oh, darn. I touched visualization. Trump is on the trip. Things are going well in the United States. Oh my God. We don't want anything to happen to him. He's got to be tired. So I'm telling him, you, Trump, cannot, Elon, you can't allow yourself to get too tired. Okay? I don't care how many people you have to say no to. Go and do what you want in nature. Grab the kids, go to nature. And then just sit there. That's all you have to do. The second piece of homework you have is to visualize Trump healthy next year. Just skip ahead to next year. Or skip to when people are starting to work to organize for the new elections, 3 years, 2.5 years, and just visualize him healthy and happy. And people arguing, should he run, should he not run? It's okay. It means he's alive and well. So you got 2 jobs. You're going to be paying attention to the people around you, especially the people that you love, the people that work for you. You're going to be looking at them, and you will have an antenna for people that are incredibly depressed. They may not look it. And then if you see it and you think you can share the mantra with them, great. But if you can't, you just do it for them. Surrogate. God, this is for them. This is for my son. He's not looking so great. And you do it for them. So you got those 2 things. You're going to visualize Trump in 3 years, and he's healthy and he's happy, because that means we're going to be stable. First place, it means he's going to be alive, which is we should all want. But beyond that, we're all going to be stable and protected. Da, 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 da. And then the suicide thing. So those are your two pieces of homework that you need to integrate into your life. Let's go ahead and do a mantra. Let's do even though I want to die, and I want you to think of somebody that you know that is really down. Nobody that you say, do you feel like dying? You want to kill yourself? Nobody's going to say yes. They're not going to say yes. The spirits that take them down by encouraging them and literally almost picking them up and taking them to where they can do themselves in are not going to be active in the moment you're speaking to them. They're not going to say yes. Your instincts have to be good enough to know they're too depressed and they don't see their way out of this. So, okay. So even though I want to die, and you're going to think of the people that you love that might be in this situation. It could be 50 people. That's the other dimensions. It's great. It's really great. Once you know the rules, it's like, okay. You could say your whole staff at work, and you can have 50 people. And just say, God, this is for my staff. And you just keep going. We're going to do 7 minutes now, okay? Do not move your mouth with the words. You just repeat it in your head. And let's get some music. 7 minutes. Now, right now, I want you to go from 1 to 10. I want a self-assessment. How do you feel? 1 is you want to slit your wrist, you want to be gone. 10 is you feel great. Where are you at? Look at the gold dress. What are the shades of the gold dress? Does it look really gold? Is it whatever? And then we're going to do that again in a minute. And let's go with the mantra, 7 minutes. But think of the people that this can help, okay? In your life. And I'm trying to figure. Let's do this one. This is for the solar plexus garbage can of emotions. Okay. It's important that you know that energy flows, it transfers, emotions transfer. Um, a lot of times when our pets get sick, it's really something of ours that they took on. Those of us that know too much about black magic know that often a pet will die, and it's like, what was that all about? And a lot of people say, no, it just, something fell on him, which what they're saying is, it doesn't sound right in English, but what they're saying is that somebody sent some black magic and the pet took it on. And they do it voluntarily. They know what they're doing. When you do something like doing the wanting to die mantra, it works. Your system is acting like a vacuum cleaner and pulling it out of the air, but you have just said to God, this is for my staff. So there's a vector of intention that directs it to them. And it doesn't matter if it's one person or 100. I'm telling you, the other dimensional stuff is really interesting. And that is where power is, not in the physical dimension. His country is powerful when there's market confidence. That's not on the physical dimension. Give somebody a million, give everybody whatever, $100,000. If they don't feel confident that things are going to be in order and get better, and if they work hard enough, it's not going to work. It's not on the physical dimension, the amount of money. It's the other dimension, it's the mind. And in this case, market confidence has to do with the crown chakra, the energy center that's at the top of the head, that is relatively easy to repair with the mantra Om. Om. If you do Om all day long, makes an incredible difference in your life and in the life of everybody around you. So you have two pieces of homework. You're going to be part of the solution having to do with the virus, the emotional virus that was sent to planet Earth or released on planet Earth, trying to drive people to suicide. And you're going to visualize the guy that's in charge of this country in 3 years, and he's going to be doing great. If anything, people are going to be complaining about how much time he's playing golf, and maybe he doesn't want to be president again because he wants to play more golf after 4 years of hard work. So those are your two pieces of homework. Okay? So go ahead and do it and contribute to the other dimensions, that they be a little bit less heavy and less difficult. I was going to say navigate. No, no, no. Live in, because it's all around us. More about that later. Thank you for joining me. And let me put the white dress up again and you can glance at it. Oh, yeah, it's much whiter now for me. Okay, that's it.